We'll chant some of the previous names, add one more tonight. Om Dvandvatitaya Namaha.
Om Dvandvatitaya Namaha.
Om Dridhanishchayaya Namaha.
Om Dridhanishchayaya Namaha.
Om Dharma Samsthapakaya Namaha.
Om Dharma Samsthapakaya Namaha.
Om Dhiraya Namaha.
Om Dhiraya Namaha.
Om Dhairyapradaya Namaha.
Om Dhairyapradaya Namaha.
Om Dhimate Namaha.
Om Dhimate Namaha.
Om Narayanaya Namaha.
Om Narayanaya Namaha.
Om Narayanaya Namaha.
Om Narayanaya Namaha.
He is also called as Narayana. Narayana. Wherever there are great saints and sages that walk across the land of Bharat, the tradition has it that they are also identified with the supreme reality also. Saints and sages are just those who have realized their amshahood. Amsha and hood in the English and in Sanskrit join up there together. They realize their oneness with Ishvara. Tulsidas ji, Gita, everywhere it is told. Huh? We saw in the 7th chapter itself. Tulsidas ji also writes this most wonderful chopai. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. 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 Koti Virakta Madhya Shruti Kahai Samyak Jnana Sakrit Ko Lahai. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Tulsidas ji is very here in 7th chapter which we are seeing. It is said, Manushyanam Sahasreshu, among thousands of men, Kashchit Yatati Siddhet, one will strive for that absolute reality. Yatatam api siddhanam Kaschin mam vetti tattvatah. One out of the few who strive will reach. Because everybody gets sidetracked in all sorts of things, you know. When you go down the road, you stop for ice cream. After your ice cream, you see the snow cone man now. After snow cone, you see two cold things one after the next. But I stop by take some coffee. So whole road there's just an illustration. The human being stops everywhere. His journey gets broken and he never reaches his goal. One rare person. Tulsidas ji also says, Koti Virakta Madhya Shruti Kahai. So many countless people take to the spiritual path. Koti Virakta. Take to the spiritual path. He says, Samyak Jnana Sakrit. One rare person will catch it. We just Go along the spiritual path. But this is one good thing. Don't get discouraged with this. One good thing is, at least we're heading in the right direction. And that means to say we have some value for the goal ahead. But we do get sidetracked. That person, that one rare soul who makes it there, is called as Yuga Purush. One who comes in a eon. That Yuga Purush. One like that comes in an eon. He is identified with God himself. So therefore he says Narayana Namaha. He is himself called as Narayana. The one who, see, we are all Narayana. Baba also says very clearly, we are all God. Only thing is Baba knows and we don't know. We think that we are body, mind and intellect. So he is identified with Narayana, the Lord himself. Okay. Now, for those of you who have joined us tonight for the first time, we are seeing Srimad Bhagavad Gita and we have reached chapter 7. Saptamaha Adhyaya. And when we left it last night in Chukure, Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya. Bhagwan is talking about Maya. Word Maya you have heard countless times. So now in chapter 7 verse 14 is where we left to see this verse. Bhagwan talks about his intrinsic, innate power called as Maya. And there are some very technical things, philosophical things, which I mentioned there last night. I'll recap today and then we'll continue from there. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Everybody should repeat those names of Bhagwan. Chanting the name of Bhagwan and anything in spirituality is like taking medicine. If I sick, I have to take the medicine, not you. If I sick and you take the medicine, I will die from sickness and you will die from medicine. Both gone. Both gone. The man who's sick, he has to take the medicine. And so, in this life, spirituality is like that. I cannot pray for you. If people could have prayed for other people, that would have been real good. We stay home and we'd have prayed for all the people in the hospital and everything would have been okay. Don't get carried away with too much of this salesmanship in religion. This world is called as Karma Bhumi. Karma Bhumi. Everything is governed by karma. And the law of karma is, so you sow, so shall you reap. There is nowhere in no scripture of the world that says, so you sow, so shall I reap. There is no such law. That only happens in agriculture. That doesn't happen. That is Rastaman philosophy. That doesn't happen in real law of karma. Alright. So when I chant, I will get blessing. If you chant, you will get blessing. Please remember this thing. When I eat, my belly will full, not yours. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
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 Devi Desha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Mameva prapajyante mayametaravantite
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
In India, I don't know if here in Trinidad, but I know in India many places, people put their children's name, their daughter's name Maya. Have you heard? So at one place I was traveling in Boston, and that daughter's name in that house is Maya. So she was asking that mother, why you put my name Maya? Everybody speaks so bad about Maya. Yeah, Maya this and Maya that. Maya is the cause for our bondage. Why you put my name Maya? Well, listen to Bhagwan's words here. This is the answer to her question. Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya. My Maya is Gunamayi, made up of 3 gunas. But it is Daivi. Daivi means divine. Bhagwan Maya is divine. So if anybody names Maya, why is it divine? Because that is the Shakti, the power of Bhagwan. Bhagwan power is infinite, limitless. Sarva Shaktiman is called. Power is all powerful. Means to say, he can do what is also unimaginable to the human mind. You cannot imagine the things that Bhagwan could, because it's infinite power, capable of doing anything which we cannot even fathom. And let me tell you something. Simple things in life here we cannot fathom. Imagine, and this is just one minuscule little manifestation of Bhagwan. How a black cow eat green grass and give white milk? Tell. little thing. So Bhagwan's power is called as Maya, is innate, intrinsic, and here it is called Devi, divine power. It is with that divine power of the Lord that the whole universe is manifest. Now, the other thing about that is, because it is manifested as all of these variegated things which we see in front of us, all these varied manifold things, we get manifested as our mind, intellect, body, everything also, right? Likes and dislikes and calm, krodh, mad, lobh, and then compassion and love and all the other things which you know, positive and negative. That word will come just now. Dvandva mohena bharata. Because it is manifested as this duality, we get deluded. Deluded. I mean, we see this thing, hey, nice man, pretty too bad. So we start running after it. So we run here, run there, run after this, run after that. We forget Bhagwan, we're running after some worldly. Bhagwan manifests as that worldly thing, but we don't run after this thing as Bhagwan, we run after this thing as some worldly thing. So, that delusion causes our bondage. So we do karma, we do this, we run after that with so much of desire, and we procure it and we enjoy it, and that we get involved in a whole string of karmas, and so we have to take birth in this world over and over because of this manifestation of Maya. And therefore he says in the same verse, Mama Maya Duratyaya. The last word in the first line means Duratyaya, means very difficult to cross over. Duratyaya means difficult to cross over. And then in the second line here, well, who will cross over? I told you in the Narad Bhakti Sutra, ancient text. Narad, Deva Rishi Narad himself is giving Upadesh, teaching. So he asks one question way down in the later half of the text. Kastarati Mayam. Who will cross over this Maya? Ya Sangam Tyajati, Mahanubhavam Sevate, Nirmamo Bhavati. There, a reply he gives there. Who will cross over this Maya? The one who gives up attachment. The one who serves some great master, some guru, some avatar, something like that. And The one who gives up mamatvam, feeling of my, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. The one who gives up, this is a reply there. Here Bhagavan is giving same question and reply now, see. Who will cross over this Maya? Mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam taranti. Taranti means they cross. Same word from, same root, 3. Tirat, which we are going to do now, all tirat word and all that. Same 3. Here taranti. They cross, a plural is given, they cross. Who cross it? Who cross? Mameva ye prapadyante. This is the most wonderful word in Sanskrit. Prapadyante means those who come with body, mind, speech, heart, soul, everything, and surrender to Bhagwan. Prapannam, it is called in Bhakti Marg. Prapannam means total surrender. And when you surrender, then we can't watch up to see, I wonder if Bhagwan accept me, Because if you prostrate before Bhagwan, and then you're watching to see, I wonder if he accept me. That means the ego is still there looking for some approbation, isn't it? Still looking. Ego has to be surrendered totally. See, Bhagwan Maya is like this. I don't know if you remember. Those of you who are my age and over, you will remember this thing. In the old days, when you go to the villages and in the lagoon, right? You used to see people have a net. They put a net over their elbow like this, and they take it on. Have you seen that? Well, any fish were there in front there. In a little while, you find yourself in somebody's pot. But if it have a smart fish, and he come, and he stay right by that fisherman's foot, right? When he throw it in there, he don't throw it in net on his foot. He throw it in net outside. So all that fish has to do is to come and stay by his feet. That fish will be saved in the very same way. And this is the example which is given when this verse comes up, Bhagwan Maya is cast across the whole world. But the one who finds himself at the feet of Bhagwan, he is never caught in that Maya. This is the meaning of prapadyante. Those who come and surrender to the Lord means giving up their ego totally and surrender to Bhagwan. Those are the ones who cross over this Maya. This is a very, very famous verse. So his Maya is divine. Don't think his Maya is any bad thing. Divine. It is by that Maya that all things are manifest in this world. It is intrinsic power. Now, he goes into several verses to talk about people who do not come and surrender to him. People who do not come and surrender to him, they get caught up in this quagmire, in this whole Jamela, and what happened? One trouble after the next, deeper and deeper, like quicksand. Quicksand. See this thing. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Sab gaye.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Nam Dushkritino Mudha Pravayante Radhamaha.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Maya Parita Jnana Asuram Bhavashrita.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Namam dushkritinaha mudhaha. See, just now we talked about those people who come and surrender to him. They cross over this Maya. But those people who do not come and surrender to him, who are Mayaya apahrita jnanaha, means all their knowledge and all their understanding and their vision and everything are being clouded over, shrouded over by Maya. They're taken over by Maya totally, means taken over by all the flashy things of this world. You know, I'm sure every one of you would have done it. I remember I did it, and I remember it was done to me also. What? One day, I used to do this in ashram all the time. I remember one day I have a piece of cake in front of me, and my uncle, who is so many years senior to me, he wanted to play a trick on me. He wanted a piece of cake. So I watching that, me taking out my eye from that. He wanted to play a trick on me. So in those days, when mango used to fall from the tree, we used to run to try to get the mango first. You know, we have Dudu's mango and different type of mango there. So when the mango falls, we used to try to get. Man, but he know, he's an adult, we children, you know. He see me watching that cake. He said, look at mango fall there. Well, I forget cake and I take off for the mango. When I come back, no cake. No mango there too, no cake here too. You never do? Ravi Bharati not here. Eh? When we were in ashram in Mumbai, you know, on a rare occasion, it's eating ashram food, sattvic food only. You can't get anything outside that, you know. On a rare occasion, somebody will bring sweets. So one brahmachari will pass down the line and he'll give one sweet to everybody. Like once in a blue moon. So everybody will keep their seat there looking in front. We have to finish that food first before we could have the sweet. So we used to be sitting together, you know. And I said, look, Swamiji calling you. Moment it turns so. Sweet gone. And that used to work every time. Bhagavan Maya is like that. We get attracted by this thing, that thing, and we forget Bhagavan. Clean. Maya apahrita jnanaha. This is a very nice word. Yeah? It means to say, because of the attractiveness of the things created by Maya, all our attention and all such thing on Bhagavan, that thing is stolen away. By what? By their flashy things. Apahrita means stolen or kidnapped. And then what happened? When we run after this worldly thing which we run after, demand that I run after a second worldly thing to fulfill this one. You know how the world is. When you get this, you have to get something, and they use this all gimmick and all. They make you go and buy some appliance, and when they're done buying that, or some deck for your car, when they're done buying, they tell you have to buy the harness now separately. All kind of thing like that. So then you have to go and get the harness. When you go there to get the harness, now they tell you, wait, have a lower grade harness and you have a high end harness. So then they get you in a whole string of things. And since you know that when you have to buy something online, or all the people who shop online, you will know that people who just bought this product also bought this product. Shopping online is an adventure by itself. So then you get into that next product. Then you get in, and this goes on and on. And Bhagavan says, what happens? Asuram bhavam ashritaha. We turn from a sadhak to asura. Asura means rakshas. Because you get caught up in all worldly things, one after the next. He says, Namam dushkritinaha mudhaha, such foolish ones who don't know me, this is what, who don't pay attention to me, you don't know me, whose minds are deluded by this Maya, this is what happens to them. Dushkritinaha means they engage in all, dushkritinaha means those people who engage in anything that is antithetical to Godhood, antithetical to spirituality. He only engaged in worldly things. Remember, I told you in the beginning of his Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Shankaracharya, in his commentary on this Bhagavad Gita, he says that it is not possible to have a spiritual life and a worldly life at one and the same time. Either you have to have a spiritual life or a worldly life. You can't have both. Mumukshutvam and phalarthitvam yugapat, you mean together, nahi sambhavati, he says. It's not possible. You may convince yourself that I am a spiritual person, but really, in truth and in fact, you will be a worldly person. Convincing yourself of something doesn't make you into that thing. Eh? If you are that thing, you don't have to convince yourself. One who is a spiritual person, he doesn't have to convince himself. So, the Lord is contrasting the previous verse with those who surrender to him totally. And this verse, those who surrender to Maya, this world, all the things in this world. Well, Arjuna and Duryodhana went to Bhagavan Shri Krishna to get help for the war. Bhagavan said, okay, here I am, and there is my army. So one of you will choose me, and one will choose the army. And let me tell you before, I am not going to fight. So who will choose me and who will choose the army? Duryodhana think, but who he going to fight to? Where going to do it he? He of no use to me. He's not fighting also. So I will, Duryodhana said, I'll choose the army. Arjuna said, thank God. Thank Krishna. He got Krishna. But this is how we make the choice. Duryodhana chose Maya. Bhagavan is one. Maya is variegated, see. Manifold. So Bhagavan is one, the army is big, vast. So Duryodhana chose that army, Maya. And then what happened? See, Maya apahrita jnanaha asuram bhavam ashrita. He became, that furthered his Rakshas swabhav. In other words, took him deeper into the quagmire. I just told you that, na? Sunk deeper in quicksand. Already in trouble, this fellow doing all wicked things his whole life. Now he going to choose the army to get deeper into. So Bhagavan contrasts the two types of people there. And now he says, there are four, this is a very famous verse now. 4 types of devotees in this world. I'll just tell you the 4. You will see which type you are. Everybody has to see which type. Don't see which type your neighbor is. People really see which type my neighbor, which type my wife, my husband, my children. Which you cannot see that. That is just, this verse is given to see which type you see. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Chaturvidha bhajante maam jana sukritino Arjuna.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Arto jignyasurartharthi jnani cha bharatarshava.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Teshanyani nityayuktaha ekabhaktir vishishyate.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Preyohi jnaninotyartham aham sacha mama priya.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Udara sarvabhivete jnani tvapmeva matam.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Avita sahijukatma mamevanutamam gatim.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritinor-juna arto jignyasurarthati jnani cha bharatarshava. Means there are 4 types of devotees in this world. Chaturvidha bhajante mam, who worship me. Sukritinaha, all of them are okay, good. Sukritinaha, they do good, they worship me. Why they do good? Because they worship me. See the 4 types now. First type called artha. Artha means one who is afflicted. He has some problem, some affliction, some sorrow, some misery, some anguish, some pain, something he has in life, some disease, something. Afflicted in some way. Artha. And therefore he worships me to remove his affliction. Yeah, they call it artharthi. Artharthi means one who is desirous of some material possession, money, land, power, wealth, possession, anything, new car you want. A little child, he praying for a little fella, he sit down in the room and he bawling hard and telling God he want a bicycle for his birthday. Artharthi. You want a bicycle, you want some material thing, something to possess. So his mother asking him, but why are you bawling so hard for? God is deaf? Why are you ball so hard for? He said, yeah, I know God not deaf. But grandpa in the next room and he little deaf. You know, when he ball hard and grandpa hear that, well, he go get a bicycle. So, artharthi is called. One who is desirous of something. Now, see, whatever the child is doing there is something which is, it ripples through society. Everybody goes on praying to God for any material thing. Then the third is called as Jignasu. Third type of devotee. Jignasu means he wants to know. He wants knowledge. You want to learn this Hanuman Chalisa, learn this Shastra, learn Gita, learn Ramayana, learn Sanskrit, learn anything. You want to learn chemistry, physics, you want to get a degree, you want to get a PhD. So you pray into God. You see, people for C exam, they do Saraswati Puja and this and that. All that kind of thing. So they want to know. They want knowledge. Jignasu means one who wants knowledge. Any type of knowledge. So they pray to God for that. That's the third type of devotee. And the last type is called as Jnani. Jnani cha bharatarshava. Oh my dear Arjuna. The last type of devotee called Jnani. Jnani is the one. Why he worships God? Why he prays to God? For no reason. He can't help himself. Helplessly he worships Bhagavan. Prabhu, you're so wonderful, I don't know what to do. I can't help myself but to adore you, worship you, glorify you. He's called Jnani. This is the 4 types of devotees. Now Arjuna said, Prabhu, among those 4 types, right? You just said that all of them, Sukritinaha, they are okay, they are good. But who is the best among them? In the next verse, Bhagavan said, Tesham jnani nitya yuktaha. Jnani is always centered on me. And eka bhaktir vishesha. I mean, single pointed devotion he has to me. Priyohi jnaniraha atyartham aham cha samavapriyaha. I am dear to him and he is dear to me. He says, Udara sarva evaite. Even though all are great, all devotees are great, he says, Udara sarva evaite. Jnani tu atmaiva me matam. That jnani is my very own self. That last one, jnani. He is my very own self. Asita sayukta atma mameva anuttamam gatim. He has his mind on his supreme goal and he settled in me. He supersedes all of them. The jnani. In other words, see, if you really see people's prayer and their worship of God, really speaking, when we ask God for something, if you look deep down in your heart, you will see this thing. When I ask God for something, it means I don't want God. I want the thing. Correct or not? I want God as an accessory to fulfillment of my desire. So what do you want? You fulfill your desire or want God? And that is why we were saying, a spiritual person and a worldly person cannot be, you cannot be both at one and the same. Either you want this world or you want Bhagwan. That is a very tough choice that you will have to make. This is the demand of spirituality. You either have to want God or want this world. You can't want both. That is why Bhagwan is telling the Jnani, Eka Bhakti Visheshyate. Visheshyate means he supersedes. Because he worships God for no reason. He doesn't go begging. One man was passing in front of a temple and he saw a beggar outside. Beggar waiting for devotees to come out so they will give him some alms. So he walk and watch inside. And he come back outside. And he say, well, this is a wonderful thing. Inside have beggars and outside have beggars too. Yeah? Because those inside begging from Bhagwan for this, for that, for the other thing. And those outside begging from people who pass in. What is the difference? Begging only, isn't it? So prayer is not about beggary. Prayer is about glorification. That's what stuti, stotram. That means praise, glory. Let me tell you something. It is much better to spend your time praising God and thanking God and showing gratitude for all the wonderful things that He has already given to you, rather than go and asking Him for more. Especially at Trini. What this Trini hasn't got in his life, he has more than anybody in this world. Eh? Look here just now. Only in Trinidad you could stop in the middle of the road and pack your groceries in your trunk and let everybody wait. Huh? I just now you saw that on the road here. Try that in New York now. This Trini have everything up and he's still going and begging Bhagwan, Prabhu, give me this, give me that, give me the other thing. And look here, good thing Bhagwan don't give nobody nothing. You think Bhagwan gave, but you cannot get anything in this world unless your karma warrants and justify the acquisition of that thing. It is not possible. Then Bhagwan will have to break the law of karma all the time to give you. I mean, he doesn't interfere with the law of karma. You will only get that thing if the law of karma justify. It means you did the karma in the past to get that thing. If you didn't do the karma, it means Bhagwan will have to break the law every time to give you something. Isn't it? So if you did the karma also, you will get the thing. Why are you going to beg Bhagwan then? If you did the karma, Bhagwan himself is helpless. He karma phala data. He has to give the result. Why he's selfish or what? He bad mind? Why you go hold it back? If you did the karma, the result will come. If you didn't do the karma, we just say, see Jesus. Please understand this whole thing about prayer. Don't get carried away with all this foolishness in religion and all. See Tulsidas Ji's verse on karma.
विश्व करी राखा, जो जस करी सो तस फल चाखा। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
Karma pradhan. Karma supersedes everything, he says. Vishwa kari rakha. Bhagwan has placed that law here. And what is the law say? What the law says? Jo jasa karai so tasa phalu chakha. As you sow, so shall you reap. If you didn't sow, what are you expecting to reap? What is that? That is stealing. Isn't it? No. The law doesn't work like that. If we sowed, means if we did the karma, the result will come. If you didn't do the karma, the result cannot come. Because Bhagavan, suppose you say, I didn't do the karma, Prabhu, I know I didn't do the karma, but please give me now. Bhagavan will say, well, if I give you, the next man will come and beg and he didn't do the karma, I have to give he. And then a third man go see that. I got to give he. Then what happened to the law? Well, then we have law of karma for. So, the jnani, this one who Bhagavan is talking about here, he worships Prabhu. I don't know, I love you so much. You did so much for me. I don't know how to thank you, how to praise you, what to do. This is prayer. If you listen to the prayer that we have, that comes out from the Vedas, you see what a wonderful prayer. Tvameva mata chapita tvameva bandhu chasaka tvameva. See the prayer. You're my mother, my father, my friend, my companion, my learning, my wealth. You're my very own self. So where is he asking for anything in that? That is praise. Purnamada purnamidam. Purna purnamudachyate. In there is no asking for anything. From that full total God, this full total universe has come. When the full has come out from the full still remains full. No, is asking anything? The Vedic prayer is like that. You're not asking Bhagavan for what he hasn't given to you yet. He gave you such a strong, healthy, hearty body, mind, intellect for you to get up and do some karma. You still come there, Prabhu, oh God, give me now. Huh? That's kind of beggar. That's why the Upanishad talks about strength. Now Bhagavan has given you. You get up. You utilize his body, mind, and intellect, and make sure that you become an exemplary human being, contributing to the welfare of human beings. Not you going there begging all the time like a beggar in front of God. This is Swami Vivekananda's teaching. You should see his teaching in his complete works. Such type of spinelessness before the Lord. He endowed us with such great potential. Every single soul in this world has a Mahatma Gandhi sitting inside of him, has Sai Baba sitting inside of him, has Lord Krishna sitting inside, and we go in there begging for this, begging for that. We have no Bhagwan. We only want that thing. We are such good renunciates and sannyasi, we cast out Bhagwan too. Yes, cast out, we renounce Bhagwan too. We want the worldly thing. Says, Udara sarva evaite jnani tu atmeva me matam. The jnani is my very own self. Jnani is my own heart itself. That one who worships like that. He praises Bhagwan for no reason. He helplessly praises. I love, you know, when anything you love in this world, the whole day you're watching that. You love Bhagwan like that, the whole day there'll be praise in your mind for Bhagwan. That person who is able to worship the Lord like this, Bhagavan says in a very nice, very famous verse also. This chapter has many, many famous verses. Chapter 7.
Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samatma Sudurlabha Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Ameste Jnana Prabhadyante Devata Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Tam Tam Niyamamastaya Nityaniyata Swaya Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Yo Yo Yam Yakarum Bhakta Shraddhaya Chitumechati Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Tasya Tasya Chalam Shraddhantameva Vidhadhamyam Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Satya Shraddhaya Yuktaha Tasya Radhanamihate Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Labhate Jatakaman Mayeva Vihitan Hitan Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki jai. He says, Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanaman Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. After many, and this is, I told throughout this Bhagavad Gita, you will see all the distinguishing features of that great tradition that emerged in Bharat, in India, where reincarnation and rebirth is an integral part of life. And everybody understands that you don't have to teach reincarnation to an Indian, you know. He born knowing that, well, I come from somewhere and I'll go some other place again after this, right? He says, Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanaman Mam Prapadyate. The one who surrenders to me, and for many, many lifetimes he has tread this path of spirituality. Mam Prapadyate. He comes on to, he reaches me after many lives. Now people say, oh God, so long I had to wait. Well, the wonderful thing about this life which Bhagavan has manifested us is we determine how many lifetimes we'll take to reach Bhagavan. We could reach in this very lifetime itself, or we could take 5 more million lifetimes. That all is in our hands. That decision is yours. And what is important is the intensity with which I attach my heart to Bhagavan. The intensity. Mam prapadyate, take refuge in me alone. Turn away from the world totally and turn to Bhagwan, that person certainly will reach very fast. And the one who say, well, I'm going, Trini style, dhire, dhire, take a little coffee here, a little drink or something there, a little eat something there. That person, bahunam janmanam ante, even for a jnani takes so many lifetimes, right? Bahunam janmanam ante, jnanavan mam papate. And that jnani who reaches Bhagwan, what he understands, that is given in second line, Vasudeva sarvamiti. See, Ram Ramay Sabha Jagat Jani, Tulsidashi says. Here Vasudeva sarvamiti, all this is Vasudeva. Everything is Ishvara. Everything is God. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat. How the Upanishad also says so very nicely. The whole universe is God. Vasudeva sarvamiti. Sarva means all, everything is Vasu. Samahatma is a sudurlabha. It's very difficult to find a person of that caliber, where he sees everything is God. Samahatma sudurlabha. What do people do? Well, instead of that, following the path of spirituality and merging with God and realizing that everything is God. Mayeva sakalam jatam mayam sarvam pratishtitam. Mai sarvam pratishtitam. Mai sarvam layam yati. The Upanishad says. Everything arises from me, stays in me and merges in me. This is the teaching of the Upanishad. Because he sees, I am everything. I am Vasudeva. Everything is Vasudeva. That type of realization says, Samahatma sudurlabha. Very difficult to find such a person in this world. What do the rest of people do? That is the other verse. Kamaistaistae hritagnyanaha. Prapadyantenya devataha. What? We have other gods. Anya devataha. We have other gods. Other God means what? Money, power, position, fame, name, this, that, property, this, the other thing, right? That is our gods. Anya devataha. So we worship the other gods. When you get up in the morning, do arti there for Lakshmi. Why? You want some? Money. Oh, so what is your God? Lakshmi or money? Lakshmi is only an accessory to money. Lakshmi is not the God. An accessory to money. So, the real money is Anya Devataha. We worship other gods. They become our true gods. Power, position, this, that, people worship. So what happened? They would then, different type of desires we have. We worship the respective god for that, to fulfill that thing. People who want knowledge, they worship Saraswati. You want money, worship Lakshmi. Those who want power, they worship Narayana himself. Easy, Lord and Master. Or those who want the power of destruction, worship Lord Shiva. The Bhasmasur, he wanted the power of destruction. If you put your hand on anybody's head like this, they turn to ashes. So he worshipped Lord Shiva. Then after Lord Shiva gave him the power, he said, let me try it on yourself. Lord Shiva had to run away from there. So they worship different gods for different things. Then it says, tam niyamamastaya prakritya niyata swaya. By themselves, they do a lot of sadhana, a lot of spiritual practices to get these powers, to get these things. Bhagavan says, yo yamyam tanu bhaktaha shraddhaya architum ichchati. Whatever person has desires in his heart and he worships whatever form of God, in the form of money, in the form of power, in the form of whatever thing people worship. He says, that time, tasya tasyachalam shraddham tameva vidadhami aham. I myself strengthen his faith in that particular form. And in other words, he is running after money, but it is I myself who comes in the form of that money. But he doesn't know that, because his apahrita jnana, his knowledge is gone. He doesn't know that Bhagavan himself has come in the form of that money, because Bhagavan is everything. Just now the previous verse says Vasudeva sarvam iti. Bhagavan himself has come as that money or that power or that whatever you're looking for. But at that time you don't think, but this is Bhagavan himself has come, So that knowledge is gone away from our mind, and we consider the thing to be some worldly thing only. Sataya shraddhaya yuktaha tasya aradhanam ihate. Whatever shraddha, faith, he worships whatever in this world to get whatever he wants. Labhate chatata kaman maya eva vihitan hitan. That thing comes exactly from me only. Whatever you're running after in this world You think Bhagavan says, I myself come in that form. Comes from me only. You may have faith and money will save me, power will save me, this will save me. People have faith in all sorts of things. But I tell you, I have seen this world. The only thing that could save us in this world is Bhagavan. Nothing in this world could. I have seen too much in this world to know that that is the absolute truth. The only thing that could save us in this world is Bhagavan. You may have all the money in the world, and when your kidney gone, where the money go to? They stop selling kidney now. Yeah, they used to sell kidney before. It was legal in some places. Now it is illegal everywhere. There is only one being in this world that can save us. Or we put our shraddha, our faith in flippant, paltry, little flimsy things of this world. So Bhagavan said, such people he calls here, and he tells apahrita jnanaha. Remember I told you that knowledge is stolen away by delusion of Maya. It's antavattu phalam tesham tat bhavatyalpamedasam. He calls us alpamedasam in the next verse. If you put your faith in something really, really paltry and something so ephemeral, he said that shows that alpameda means little understanding. They're all words of the Lord. The people will think that Lord is harsh, Why he call we all kind of name for? Because he's talking about we here. Don't feel like we exempted from this, Oh, Bhagavan talking about we. So he call we alpamedasa means, in Trinidad language, how you go say that? He had nothing upstairs. Apahrita jnanaha, alpamedasam. All sorts of names he calls. But I'll tell you one more thing about Lord Krishna. And the Shastras of India. One important thing. The Shastras of India are not idealist at all in any sense. The Shastras of India are all realists. Realistic. It means to say, look here, when you look around in this world, you see positive and negative or not? You see nice smelling perfume and you see stinky drain. That is real or not? But that is the way the world is. In this world, there will be Rakshasas like Ravan and there will be avatar like Rama Baba. Isn't it? That is the way the world is. So the Hindu Shastra doesn't even idealize. No. We only paint some kind of real positive picture of the world and this is ideal. And no. It's a very real world right in front of you. There are sinners and sages. There are crooks and criminals on one side and there are sadhus and Babaji on the other side. That is the world. You better look at the world the way it is. So in the very same way, they are very smart and intelligent. Purusha Shabha, just now he called Arjuna. Those who are intelligent people, like yesterday we saw when he was telling, I am the intelligence in the intelligent. Buddhir buddhimatam asmi. Yesterday we saw that verse. I am the intelligence in the intelligent people. So he is recognizing that there are intelligent people in the world, but in the same way he is recognizing that there are absolute congenital fools also. But the world doesn't have a what? Made up of both. But you don't have some kind of ideal world in your mind, some kind of what is a utopia in your mind. You look at the world which is in front of you. And so there are divine, most humble and intelligent people in this world. And so the opposite also. So he's talking about both. Very real. That's the most wonderful Shastra in the world is Bhagavad Gita. There's nothing to touch it, I tell you. Most real. He's talking about life right in front of you. Nothing idealistic or any such thing. He says, such people who are alpamedasam, this verse will continue tomorrow. Alpamedasam, of little intellect, little understanding, little, in American language you have many words for that. In Trinidad language you don't have so much. He said they pursue the path of the ephemeral, the worldly things, and they reach there. Devan devaya jo yanti mad bhakta yanti mam api. Those who worship me come to me. Those who worship these worldly things, that is where they reach. That is the idea in Trinidad language. If you worship that, that is where you go reach. If you worship me, you go reach me. This nice verse. We'll see that tomorrow. Okay.